Now Tucker had completed his second novel, a work of much greater formal ambition. The Partisan Leader was set 13 years in the future and reflected Tucker's lifelong immersion in Southern separatist politics. Equal parts cautionary tale and wish-fulfillment fantasy, the novel imagined a civil war between an independent Southern Confederacy and a despotic Northern rump state ruled by Martin Van Buren. In Tucker's vision of 1849, Virginia finds itself caught between the sovereign Lower South and the power-mad Van Buren regime, which has imposed an odious tariff on all agricultural exports. Pushed to their limits by Northern cupidity and Northern fanaticism, a heroic band of Virginia partisans fights off Van Buren's invading army and averts the plunder and desolation of the South. Tucker's first novel had been published by Harper & Brothers in New York, but for The Partisan Leader, he turned to the veteran journalist and Washington insider Duff Green. Like Tucker, Green emerged from family roots in Virginia, went on to a public career in Missouri, and maintained a firm devotion to the interests of slaveholders throughout the Union. But while Tucker cultivated the style of an independent intellectual, conservative scholar, jurist, and man of letters, Green was a thoroughly political animal. As editor of the United States Telegraph, Green had masterminded media strategy during Andrew Jackson's 1828 presidential campaign. Bound by intimate ideological and marital ties to South Carolina's John C. Calhoun, his daughter married Calhoun's son, he later broke with Jackson, but remained one of the most influential pro-slavery operators in Washington. In September 1836, Green wrote Tucker to notify him of the book's forthcoming appearance in print, chiding his author on one major point. "The defect in your plot is that you have made the tariff the prominent idea, when I think you should make the slave question the basis of your supposed separation." Green recommended adding a chapter showing the interest which Great Britain has in substituting the cotton of the East Indies for the cotton of our South Atlantic states. This international threat to Southern slavery and Southern produce, Green believed, represented a far greater danger than the merely domestic wickedness of Martin Van Buren and his allies in the North. Certainly it warranted a mention in Tucker's story. Great Britain's larger scheme of mercantile and mechanical cupidity might be demonstrated in a commentary by some character either from the North or the South, Green suggested, helpfully referring Tucker to a series of recent British parliamentary debates in case the author wanted original source material to cite. The publisher's attempt at criticism revealed, somewhat comically, the limits of his artistic imagination. Like his patron Calhoun, Green might well have tried to begin a poem with "whereas" and then stopped. But this literary dispute also contained a world of political meaning. After the South actually seceded from the Union 25 years later, a New York publishing house reprinted The Partisan Leader with the subtitle "A Key to the Disunion Conspiracy." But perhaps the novel's most visionary achievement was not its prophecy of secession, but its portrait of a South that could secede for purely domestic and economic reasons. By emphasizing the tariff rather than the slave question, Tucker presented a version of the sectional crisis that anticipated the South's post-Civil War justification of its antebellum history. The Partisan Leader's melodrama of commercial rivalry, sectional rancor, and local patriotism foreshadowed the Southern imagination of 1881, not 1861. In fact, as Duff Green's criticism made clear, this perspective struck important Southern contemporaries as oddly incomplete. During much of the antebellum period, it was Green rather than Tucker who best captured the dominant political orientation of the elite South. This Southern leadership was ambitious and cosmopolitan, not defensive and provincial. It was explicit rather than implicit about the importance of slave labor both at home and abroad. While Tucker could see Great Britain only as a possible commercial ally of an independent South, Green's keen and roving eye kept close watch not only on foreign tariff rates, but also on the larger international politics of slavery. For many powerful antebellum slaveholders, British imperialism and anti-slavery were as dangerous to the South as national tariff policy or Northern abolitionism. In his revisions of The Partisan Leader, Tucker declined to take Green's literary advice. Even the author